Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear colleagues. Welcome back. Today I am going to discuss basic cardiac murmurs. S1. This is the S2. This is again the S1. So it is the cardiac cycle. Cardiac cycle has the three phases. One is the ventricular contraction, which occur between the S1 and into S2, and the ventricular relaxation and the filling, which occurs between the S2 and S1, which is a diastolic phase. So ventricular contraction is the systolic phase, which is between the S1 and the S2. This is the systolic. Like clear. This red line is the systolic, while this black line is the diastolic. D4 diastole, S4 systole. Now the murmurs. What are the murmurs of the systole and the diastole? So basically, in the systolic has two murmurs and diastolic has also two murmurs. Systolic has two murmur. One is the ejection systolic murmur. Means when the blood, when the ventricle is contracting, initially eject means the blood is going into the aorta or the pulmonary side. So if there is a problem in the pulmonary wall or the aortic wall, it produces the sound, abnormal sound. It is known as the murmur. So ejection systolic murmur is like this. It is start from the S1. I'm marking this line to mention the, see, initially it starts, but it is not wall in the between the S1 and S2, not during wall the systole. It's only in the early phase of the systole. So it is known as the ejection systolic murmur. So what are the differential of ejection systolic murmur? Remember the names only. Pulmonary stenosis, either single or either associated with the tetralogy of Fallot, and the aortic stenosis, and the last one is the atrial septal defect. These three are the differential for the ejection systolic murmur. Ejection, EJ means ejection, systolic murmur. I made the EJSM. Then the pansystolic murmur. Pansystolic murmur means it starts from the S1 throughout the systole. It is sound is producing, murmur is producing. So whole systole has the murmur. This is known as the pansystole. Pan P systolic murmur. PSM, pansystolic murmur. So what are the differential of this? So pansystolic murmur is either due to the mitral regurgitation, or tricuspid regurgitation, or the ventricular septal defect. These three are the DDs of the pansystolic murmur. Now come to the diastolic murmurs. What are the diastolic murmur? Diastolic murmur are two types. One is the early diastolic murmur, other is the mid diastolic murmur. Early diastolic is like the ejection systolic murmur. It appears start in the starting, but initial phase of the diastole. It disappears in the late phase of the diastole. So initially it starts, then it ends. So what are the differential? Differentials are pulmonary regurgitation and aortic regurgitation. It causes the early diastolic murmur. Now come to the mid diastolic murmur. Mid diastolic means it starts in the middle of diastole and it ends in the middle of the diastole, like this. So this is the S2, this is the S1 here. So it is between, it is in the center of the diastole. So differentials are mitral stenosis and the tricuspid stenosis. Just remembering and ratify these. So last one is remaining here. So I try to picture here. Last one is the it is the S1. Okay, this is the S2 here. This is the S3 here. This last murmur is start here to the here. Means it's continuing during. systole, during diastole. It's not limited to systole or diastole. It is continuing. It is continuous murmur. It is murmur of the PDA. PDA murmur is the continuous murmur. Okay, I think the murmurs are clear. I hope this video will be beneficial for you all, guys. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.